flaw in his plan.
Oh, not a chance, fella. Not a chance. We're alive, we got a chance. We got to find a flaw in his plan. Oh, not a chance, fella. Not a chance. Not a chance, fella. Not a chance.
You know, for a treat, we're starting a bit early today because I honestly can't think of a reason to delay. Welcome in, everyone. We are attempting. That's about the mood of the day. I don't know, I had a really weird kind of rest of everything, and it's nice to... Oh. Watch Rock Garter. Interesting. Anyway, I'm looking forward to continuing Final Fantasy V. I know the schedule has been really heavy with Final Fantasy because we have this and Final Fantasy XIV playthrough. Oh, wrong button. But I'm thinking next time just for... Oh, hey Ace, how are you doing? How's your art stream earlier? So... I really wish I was able to at least, like, lurk. Heard 14, it was summoned. I can't fault you for the promptness. Good to see you in. Is literally just started, and it's just saying that had a very Final Fantasy forward schedule. Oh, dang it, they're fast. Why are they fast? I want to get out. Leave. I'm running away from first thoughts first, and it's just saying that just to kind of balance it out, probably going to take a break from this next time, but right now from where we left off last time, I accidentally didn't save the game at all, so good news. We actually have blue magic this time. I was able to grind this back out in like 2 hours, head empty. And Goblin Punch is good. Concerningly good. It doesn't cost any MP. And if you're the same level as whatever you're fighting, it hits for 8 times the damage in one attack. I learned that because I was on the first boss, Carlabos, the weird crab thingy. I managed to match his level and killed him in 3 hits. Hey Seth, how are you doing? No, things have been tough and for you, so if you need to just lurk, appreciate you stopping by and hope you're doing well. But yeah, hitting an early boss for 256 points of damage each time? Kind of insane. And I'm running from everything in this dungeon because I looked it up. We're the correct level right now. Flash from Headstone. I'm also... Oh. Okay, there's one last piece of blue magic we can get here. Stream was... Ooh, stream was fun. That... 2 pet choices. I saw the base sketch. One was like 3-headed Cerberus and the other like cockatrice. That feels like something that should have blue magic. It doesn't. Weird. I have a guide up for blue magic because I have no idea. There's actually no way to tell which ones have or do not have a spell you can learn. Not 100% recovered from what happened, but better than last night. Yeah, that's really the key thing, that you're doing better, because after that... Oh, thank you. I hope that continues to get better, because I'm not going to go much into it, because that's just awful. Oh, dang it, I forgot to switch over my Nightbot things. How did I... Hang on. Enable campaign. And also the requisite plug that we are doing a 4-job fiesta, which is raising money for the Trevor Project, which good cause. Father's helmet. Ah! I thought it was poison. Ooh. I know. Okay, that's a hard choice. Both of the doggies are amazing. Like, good work with those, Ace. Came chasing after the Hiryu, but that's some tough game. The Hiryu? Hiryu's horn can fetch a pretty good price. And look, it's Princess of Tycoon. She'll make a nice gift to take back to my husband. Stop. Ooh, good. Ferris. Hey, Butterfly. Wow. We just... A lot happened at once. Bye, Butterfly. Good seeing you. And also good seeing you, too. Cass, I hope you're doing well, and... Yeah. And your last Diablo stream was going good. But yeah, thanks for the mitosis. We got another party member in. Ooh, I love that heart emote. Oop. I can't believe... Okay, a lot just... We just built a bridge during that cutscene. Yes, Ferris is aggressively the best the best girl, Zarataro. Like, just yes. I hope you're doing well today. And Butterfly, to answer your question, I am. Today was weird. Like, it happened and... Ooh, for one more thing. We're level 8, they're level 8. Yep, 528 damage for a free hit. Yeah, it's just... I just two-shot the boss. It is so fun. But I'm doing better. Like, a lot of things in the day helped. People. Oh shoot, Lena just is poison.
Is never the answer.
It's the solution.
My God, if there wasn't a better time for that. I think I'm actually missing something. Lots of Diablo. Yeah, that's been, from what I've seen, a fun and long game. But trying to play other stuff, yeah, I get that. I was talking about earlier how my schedule's kind of very Final Fantasy forward, so gonna mix in a little bit of other things next week. But yeah, it's overpowered because I managed to match the level of that boss, which is what triggers the 8-time damage up. The last thing I want to do before I get to the next part is I should probably like stand and face them until it's my turn. Like, that actually makes a difference. The headstone enemies. I can learn one piece of blue magic from them. And I'm pretty sure at this height, all I'm going to get is the black cat. Oh, I can stand and fight now that I'm not, you know, trying to stay at level 8. But yeah, no, it's just one of those days of everything kind of felt off, but... Oh, right. I guess we're all poisoned now. Okay. I know I saw... Yeah. Yeah, because if... Oh, wow, Lena's just... This was a bad idea. This was a very bad idea. Let me go back and use a tent. Oh, never mind. Oh, Butterfly, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate that. Like, thanks for supporting. But the way Goblin Punches works, and it's absolutely fantastic. Oh, that's what it is. Flash is the one I can learn from the blocks. That it's essentially a regular weapon attack, but I need to use elixir to... I have to restore their MP to learn this. This is so dumb. And I need a potion to survive this. Huh. Wait. Oh no, I needed to use an either. I'm dumb. Worth it. Although maybe I should have thought this through. Yeah, I really should have thought that through. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. Okay, first, now that I know what item I actually need to use. Because I forgot that these purple flowers do poison you on contact. And let me run away from this battle first. And then I just didn't have the items in order to deal with it. Wait, that's the wrong one. That's my V1 model. I don't know why I still have it in there, but I'm feeling... Ooh. Put a tiny one up here. Yeah. Yes, behind the chat. I bumped the button and almost went right into the poison flower. Oh, and some butter. Hell yeah. Just a teeny bread. Teeny panini. And also I need to check the power supply for the little system I'm running this off of. Well, a little lightning bolt pops up in the corner. That means something's going wrong with the power. I think last time what started it was I accidentally ran over the cable with my chair. Okay, maybe it just doesn't appear over there. But, should probably... Oh, there we go. So now I know there's 2 blocks here. And I should kill one first. I'm going to say that... Well, here's the problem. Final Fantasy V was never released in the US for the SNES. Meaning the only way to play an original ROM would, or original version of the game without a re-release or anything like that would be to get a ROM and patch a translation on it. Legally speaking, you can't shouldn't be running an emulator on stream. But that's just a fun bit of history. So, yeah. The thing is, speaking of, there was a tool for the actual patching part of it. The more you know. Yeah. I walked right into that again. Nah. I think that was on my own old laptop. That has no more space. Like, I did not have enough space to put an archive, to download and put on an archiving utility in order to free up space. But that's like the tool that you would use to get a Kaizo Mario ROM hack or something of the like on it, as well as I think I also did the found a translation patch for 3. Because the problem is that, and the first thing that people realize when they learn about Final Fantasy for the first time, is that the games are kind of nonsense for how they're numbered. Because if you go for the original US release, well, the original release... Oh, hey Mecha, enjoy your lurk, and good to see you, and hope you're having a good day. But, because technically the first 6 are not lurking, well, too bad. Yeah, the Chaos mods for Mario 64. The best I saw, I don't know what it's called, I could find it, just playing with a flag. I'd put that out of reach, but you're like, what, 12 feet tall or something? Death claws are stupidly vertical. Alright, let's two-shot this person again. One punch! If I can keep my levels consistent, I don't think I need anything else besides Goblin Punch, because god damn! God damn! No, I'm pretty sure that she's just going to... Lena's going to end up poisoning herself again, as she does. So we're just going to let that click down. But yeah, there's one that had a Super Mario 64 hack that, like, had several versions of the castle. The problem wasn't getting all the stars, it was trying to find your way through, and it required you to make a map almost. It's insane what ROM hacks are out there. But, backstory, Hiryu, what an awful wound. Here you go, I'll fix you up. Lena, what do you think you're doing? Alright, stay back. If I can treat it with a Hiryu plant. So that's... 4 times! She got poisoned. Here, give this to the Hiryu. I mean, you can't falter for dedication. Can falter for other things, though. Get better here. Oh, that's truly a rash thing to do. Ooh, had a burger. That improves almost anything. I keep on forgetting that, like, when I have a bad day, everything seems absolutely awful. Oh, thank you, Hiryu. Right, come on, let's go. So for anyone who missed the first stream, when we got our first set of job crystals, everyone also got, like, an attribute of the crystal. Like, the spirit of the crystal itself hitched a ride inside of them. And your character got wind. And he's afraid of heights. Oh my god. What's so funny? Just get on. Pushed on. Yeah, I kind of want a burger now. Like, I had a massive salad, the type that would be an affront to God. You know, large amount of lettuce as a base, a massive amount of onion. Oh, hell yeah, we're flying! We can't get across mountains, but we got the first airship. Okay, questions. What's the name of the leader of White Scars? I actually have no idea. The only faction I know, like, any lore, like, fair enough. I can't even complain with that. I just want to, like, poke around for a minute. I can't get in there yet because it can't go over mountains. I only know, like, a little bit. Oh, making burgers for everyone. I thought you were going to fry me for not knowing 40k lore. Because the only one faction I really know much of anything about is the orcs. And even then, I don't know leaders. Okay, now I'm just lost. But yeah, back to the salad. Like, massive amount of onions, 3... Ooh, that's where I needed to go next. 3 boiled eggs, stupid amount of anything else I can get. What the heck's this? Warus Tower. Can enter the tower without permission of the King of Warus. Where are you? Alright. We need Warus permission. Although I think having, like... Nah. Even though we have, like, the official mount of the king of the neighboring kingdom, that's not really good enough vibes for... to just get past. Oh, first things first. Let's see what we can get. More of that stuff. I think Warus's water crystal jobs? This is Galura. He lives around Warus Tower. It's a really nice baby, so please don't be mean to him. Interesting. Oh, yeah, and then oh yeah, water crystal. But I found the trick to making any salad is just keep on adding. Oh, sweet. This is Chronomancer and Summoner jobs. That's two of the options. Oops, I guess we have Remora now. And no Gil because I wasn't fighting anything. I have a feeling that what's going to happen is we get halfway up the... There's just a frog in that pond. I love that little man's. So you can get iron shields and training. Oh, can we? Oh my god. When she picked up King Typhoon's helmet, we got a mithril helmet in the inventory. Love that. And battle axe, regal cutlass, farmer. Oh, Jughato Khan by the by. I'll try to remember, but I'm probably going to forget it. Wait, regal cutlass, isn't that? Yeah, that's what we have already. We'll actually be fine without upgrading gear. There's not much to upgrade. I think we have to go second floor of the inn and then... Oh, no, there's not. Actually, just not a second floor. Huh. But no, when you're making pretty much anything that requires you to just throw a bunch of random ingredients in a pot, just keep piling them on until you get a result that ends up being an affront to God with how much stuff you put in. Like, the recipe for that sort of thing is literally just a suggestion. You can put as much stuff as you want. Like, double the amount of stew ingredients. Worst case, you just end up with, like, a double batch, and that's fine if you made it well. The treasure sleeps in the basement of this castle. Right, oh, God. I'm going to get beaten up by this, but... People down in the dungeon are trash. Don't listen to their pleas, whatever you do. Okay. It was either here or the next one, but it's possible to get jumped by a monster that... Wait. What are we doing out here? I mean, I guess there has to be treasure. Or wait. I bet it's something behind the waterfall because there's going to be a point where the crystal shatters. Like that's just how you get jobs in this game. So when that happens, maybe those waterfalls will stop flowing and let me get up there? Or is there, like, a secret back here? I don't know. I don't know. I've been learning and trying to cover the gaps in my knowledge with, like, quick bits of research. Just got... Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do? Tell me to get out of their moat? I'm just doing what it's for. Yeah, yep. Garrett, yep. Run for it. I remembered this correctly. What? Oh god, did I save after? I made it. So that's there specifically to make sure you can't get to that treasure until later in the game. Because yeah, it back attacks, I think, automatically. Hits very hard. And because it's over leveled and has a stupidly high speed, I can't just run away with it until most of my party's dead. What I was saying about earlier is that this challenge run, it's definitely for people who know a lot more about this game. Like the type of people who have played over and over again and cracked every single secret and trick. Because for some of these jobs, like if you saw the first stream I tried of this, without knowing what monsters have blue magic, then it's impossible to... It's just so much harder. Great thief, lone wolf. Won't forget about you guys. See ya. Wait. Did I lock myself in? What? What? Oh my god, they knew exactly what they were doing with that. Of course you would go in and investigate what ended up being a chamber pot. Okay, I guess we're just... He's passed out, let's leave. And then it would trick you into going in there and thinking you locked yourself in. But hey, we just successfully sprung a jailbreak, so good for us. That guy seemed alright. Water purified by the crystal flows from the tower to the north of this castle. Okay, so that's where we were. Also, I know enough of the series that these castles always have, like, a random piece or two of treasure around. It says the Ice Esper Shiva was sealed somewhere in this castle long ago. Oh, I bet it's that area that got most of our party killed. That would track. Especially if because this is apparently the dungeon that gets you summoners. Back didn't explode. Nice. According to this book, Esper sealed in water purified by the crystal. So once that breaks, okay, so that's the first rare summon. Yeah, because I know later games in the series really use kind of all these summon monsters a bit more. Like, hell, you literally only have to play a minute of the Final Fantasy 16 demo to see how much more focus that summons get. I've hidden Princess Lena. King Morris, it's been a long time. Please stop amplifying the power of the water crystal immediately. You must be kidding. We can't do that. Thanks to crystal, we all live in wealth and abundance. But if you continue, the crystal will shatter. I've heard about the wind crystal. But we can't be sure the same will happen to the water crystal. The people would be against it. No situation to be taking chances. Again, is this game about climate crisis? What was that? Oh shit, another one. Why are there so many meteors? Your Highness, a meteor has fallen near the tower. What? Quickly, gather the soldiers. Head for the tower. Yes, sir. Like 2 meteors in the span of, honestly, probably a month for how long we were just drifting aimlessly cast away at sea. I'm sorry, but this is very urgent business, Princess Lan. Let us discuss this again at a later time. Let's go. I know what I have to do when voicing these. No way, everyone in this city would be dead. Well, it was... In all fairness, this first meteor was kind of far away in the middle of nowhere. Let's loot his bedroom. And this one did hit like a good way north of the city. The hard thing to tell with these games is because they have the overworld isn't to scale. Like, a space could be 5 miles or something. So it could be a ways north of the city. Or it could be, like, I don't know, a mile or 2 total. It's hard to tell, but you know what? Part of the fun is that shit just happens. Okay, let me check Blue Mage next. Elf. Yep. Can't get that one. And the next, there's only one more next in Waltz Tower. Pawn's Chorus. Interesting. I also want to check the boss's level. Enemies. Ooh. Just a sec. Wow. Level 9. Question, what is blue magic and why is it important? Blue magic is, for Final Fantasy, the specific brand of magic that can be learned from just other monster skills. It's essentially enemy mimicking. And it's important because we're playing the 4-job fiesta, which restricts what and thank you for mentioning this, because I realized I don't... Okay, so there's nothing can be done there. Then I forgot to actually explain what I'm doing. The 4-job fiesta is a challenge run where you can only use 1 job at a time. Or rather, 1 job per crystal. Currently, I have only gotten the wind crystal jobs. So the only job I'm allowed to use is Blue Mage, because the website randomly assigned me that job. Also, it's fun and very overpowered if... Ooh, Garula. Interesting. It's kind of fun and can be very strong. Rickle. Wait, is this Rickle the Mage? Huh. Interesting. Recalled Mage. I have a feeling that that one's a translation error. Is this the game you can suplex the train? No, that's Final Fantasy VI. You can do some fun stuff in this game, but 6 is the one with the oh so amazing train suplex. maybe next time there's space for Final Fantasy, I'll go suplex a train. Yeah, this one, the main thing that got remembered through the series was the job system. Like, not even kidding. If you ever see even Final Fantasy 16, it's pretty much the same different vibe. Like, this game cemented what jobs and classes you would have whenever you had the ability to swap between them. Speaking of trains, I have a game I want to show you later. Ooh, I'm interested. That could be in. Wait, how did Ferris get so actually dead? I have a feeling I might be overextending a bit. Or Phoenix down. Potions. Yeah, I have a feeling that what we're dealing with here is that this game, or these blue mages that we're forced to use, aren't good tanks at all. Ooh. At least got to the halfway point. But that's just kind of something that you have to deal with. Mages are definitely supposed to have physical fighters in order to back them up. Like, they should probably be dropped in the back row. It's just that in this case, for melee damage, blue mages can't equip swords and shields, which helps. But, ow. Give Ferris a rest. Alright, we'll try arrow. See, I wonder how well debuffs go. Oh, hey, Ace, welcome back. We've killed Ferris twice. I was just rambling about how blue mages have 0 survivability. Who's Ferris? The one at the bottom of our party. Yeah, Ferris. Bottom of the party, face down, purple hair, you know them. Oh no, and this was the one that got us a level up. Sorry, I'm going to be using all of my potions to keep her up. 8th floor. How long could I... Since when could I climb those? Okay. Silver ring. What does that do? Oh. Oh shoot, that's a good one to have. Ooh, thanks, Jim. I hope you're having a good lurk and that you're enjoying the retro. We're just playing a challenge run of Final Fantasy V with the 4-job Fiesta rules, so right now we're locked on to Blue Mage. And it's been going, but always good to see you around. I'm just thinking, maybe it's worthwhile to give one of them the ice rod. Could swap the model than being nice. Well, I appreciate it. Also, don't feel that you have to be nice. It is me after all. Or if you're just taking a tactical moment to save up points, it's temporary. There it is. Ah, no, I didn't want to go down back there. You're just saving up to do something later. I get you. Oh. Is that Proto Man? Guller is being controlled. We can't let him break the crystal. Well, you did a fine job there. Stand guard. Oh, shoot. Well. Goblin punches all around. Which doesn't do anything for Ferris because we missed their level up. Wait. Oh no, I'm not actually level synced with them. I'm either too high or too low. I actually have to do this properly. 985. Can I get a status effect on them? No. They are a vampire. We'll get that going at least. Oh, no, that's just... Well, this is what I get for not knowing my spells. I assume that would be constant health drain, but it is in fact not. And it's not really Ferris that's dragging us down. It's more the fact that... Oh, damn. Wait, what? Oh no, why is my health just dropping at a constant rate? Yeah, I think it's more that I got a... Oh, dang it. A bad piece of information when I checked what level they're at. I might need to be higher. I mean, sure, we can blame Ferris, but... Okay, Phoenix down. Hopefully I can get someone to the back room. Deforestation for the win! I don't remember what that one was from, but... Hell yeah. Blue. Wait. Oh, damn it. If I'm casting spells, I can do that from the back row. Why is the elephant wearing spicy noodles? Because what else would the elephant be wearing? You can't just be an angry elephant trying to destroy a super important crystal responsible for powering the very concept of water. That... Want to clear cut the farm from the Stardew collab? Maybe? That was long enough I feel like that was long enough ago, and that quote was recent enough for 45. Oh, dang it, wrong one. Nails sticking out. I'm asking all the good questions here. Someone has to, and... You know, the world may never know. And just keep on hitting it with arrow, I guess. Yeah, I just didn't have the resources for that. Weird. Girlist. Oh! Interesting. It's level 3. I actually can't get Goblin Punch to go off on this. Because it's too low level. Oh, there's stairs there. That's... Well, first of all, it's an interesting thing to... Come on... Wait, really? Silk is better than copper. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing.
I'm leaving!
Perfect timing. But it's kind of interesting how they'll do that. The bosses don't necessarily scale linearly. Because level controls so many things behind the scenes. So I guess we can just kind of fight things to get an edge on stats and the like. Because the last boss was level 8. This current one's 5 levels lower. Now I see why everyone who gets Blue Mage for this challenge really wants Chemist. Because Chemist has enough level manipulation that you can actually do some stupid things. Like, one is get an enemy all the way up to the maximum level, which happens to be a multiple of 5, and hit level 5 death on them. I'm doing this for a moment because Elf Toad is one of the... This frog has the last bit of blue magic we need. Blue Mage requires a skill... Oh! Hell yeah! We have become frog! Actually, yes. Like, level 5 death and its effect. Frog! Frog instrumentality. Reject humanity. Return to frog. Like, level 5 death checks whatever your current level is. And if it's divisible by 5, so I suppose 0 frog song. Hell yeah. I think what we need to do is... Huh. I should be able to, like, Ast. That's for a sword. I guess we have to go back to the save point and... let's not bother with this. Oh... I just had a thought. Is Garla immune to frogging? Can we frog this jerk and just wail on him? Because if so, that would be absolutely hilarious. My 2 a.m. brain doesn't compute out this out of context. Well, we just learned something that lets us turn things into frogs. So I have them up. Blue Mage. Oh. Oh, I see what it is. It's not that Garlo is weak to frogging or being turned to toad, it's that it can turn you into a toad. So it's a good idea to have a party member who can de-toad. Defrogsculate. So that's good. Except there is a bot. There is, but he'll untoad himself after his big attack. I see. There's always that one Final Fantasy boss that is not immune to the thing that you would expect. Like, either the fact that every boss in this game is not immune to instant death spells, or at least level 5 death. Damn, we need a lot of ability points, like, from level 2 to next. Yeah, instant death and berserk most bosses in the game. That's incredible. That's one of them. Every boss in 4 you can slow. Can be Blue Mage in the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV with an expanded free trial that you can play through the entirety of Realm Reborn and the award-winning Heaven's Sword expansion for up to level 60 for free with no restriction on playtime? Yes. Except no. You can be a Blue Mage, but I'm pretty sure that was introduced in another expansion, so it's a little bit more tenuous. But Blue Mage is a class. From what I've heard, it's first big main boss. Nice. Tears, I cry 'em. So in that case, first big main game boss, you probably are able to be a Blue Mage in free trial then. I don't know, because I haven't gotten there yet. 2.0 boss, one that's done and can do the Blue Mage, should be level 50 at a time. Okay, good. I am glad that people who are further in that game are just along for commentary. Good to know. But I do know that among the premier skills there is hawking a fish at people to interrupt them and stop their attack, which is just amazing. Played way too much 14. From everyone who's into that game has played way too much 14 by default of being into 14. Like, I can see why. It's a fun little game. Gotta hit rocks. Okay. Yeah, I see you there, Ace, with your solo Palace of the Dead runs or whatever big dungeon it was. Well, the ultimate cleared savages achievements. Triple legend in chat. Okay, that was close. Penta legend. Hell yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. Galif. So hasten the ham stars. What the hell did Galif get hit by? That's doing that to his health. And how do I do that? Pardon me. Yeah, she's pretty great. But still, base of Eureka in a month and a half is nothing to sneeze at. Okay, gotta just keep everyone else up and above 100. Watch me stand in this AoE. Yeah, you're totally a sprout on your NA character. Don't let the fact that it's 2 a.m. for you say anything about what server you normally play on. That's completely inconsequential to this matter entirely. Mm. Yeah, why else would they put a big orange circle on the ground if that wasn't where you're supposed to go? True. We are closer to sworn enemies that are unfortunately forced to be in similar places. Oh, come on, go down already. Oh, how many tornadoes do we have? There we go. AoEs, however, best quality of life in the game, letting you know if quest is on a higher or lower altitude. Oh, let's wait till arrows start being implemented. Yeah, an accurate path to a quest. That's just nice, especially in some place like Ul'dah where there's just floors. Crystal. Oh shit. Start boiling your drinking water, everyone. We were too late. Ugh. So that's wind and water down. Sir Galuf. You know who I am? Sir Galuf, I wasn't able to save the crystal. I'm sorry. Tell me, who am I? Protect the fire crystal. Quick, get him now, and get him in our mouths. We have to eat these crystals to absorb their power. Cards of the crystal. Are they lending us their power? Berserker. Yep, Time Mage. Mystic Knight. So I know I can't... Yep, Summoner. I can't get Berserker because it's tied to... And then... Hey, Red Mage. And one left back there that I can't get to. What's happening? Tower's sinking? So the way that the fundraiser and such is set up, the 4-job fiesta, is that I can't get that. Never forgot that crystal. It's so aggravating. I'm pretty sure that's like the Mimic one? Ugh. Holy shit, Sildra's alive. Sildra, you're alive? Oh, get back here, you. Yeah. Yeah, they are good at foreshadowing which ones you'll find later. Like, there's another job associated to this crystal, but... Alright, and with that, let me pull up the web page and unlock the water job. You know how I was going to say that we can't get Berserker with us ordinarily? The donation total influences a chance of getting Berserker. Guess what we have right now? We have an uncontrollable Berserker in our party. That is... They do nothing but attack. Can't be controlled. Oh, shoot, that would have been a good thing. Yeah, there's the link, and it's FF5 normally. I'm going to update the title for that. Ooh, got a model update. That is incredible, Ace. I hope it's all looking good and to your liking, because I'm excited for that. Oh, that's a baby. Don't throw babies through basketball hoops. What? Was that? That had to have been from Dead Space. That is the only place where babies and basketball hoops coexist, and you could throw one through the other. I will take that. The best part of being a VTuber, in my opinion, is the point where other people are just showing you, hey, I got this model update, and look at it, and because I love it. Yeah, no, Mimic is a lot of fun if you get it going. Baby in the microwave is now current again. That was such a weird clip. All right. And I have to double check the rules. Help out. Wait. Actually, where is... I actually can't find where the rules are for this. Just a second. Oh, help. Duh. Basic rules. Here, run. One job from when Chris... Alright. Run types, basic rules. Option, example. All characters must be one. One character must be... Okay, so good. We have... Only one of our characters has to be a berserker. Let's swap Ferris out for a berserker. Normal, red mage, summer, time mage, night, monk, thief, berserker, always berserk. I mean, we may as well just put learning on. Ah. Oh yeah, they're great. Oh, DC. Yeah. But no, they're great streams, and I really wish that at the very least I had, like, the ability at work to lurk or something, but Wi-Fi is so bad there. Part of the sketch over to you. Ooh. Okay, that's amazing. It looks so good. trying to... But yeah, time zones are so rough. Oh, Hollow now. That opened it. I really wish I had more ability to... hate work and time zones. What the heck? Fred, was he warped? Let's follow him. Papa Slime's the hero we need. But no, I get the idea of wanting to get your mic tuned a bit more and sounding like more to your standards. I've always thought it sounded good, but also if you want it better, then by all means do what you need. Oh, same. Audio mixing is a little bit like art. It just kind of... It's just kind of black magic. Like, people do things and it happens. I know the next thing I need for my mic setup, aside from listening to it and trying to figure out why the heck it sounds like that, is like an actual audio mixer. Even if it's... Yeah, the audio mixer, XLR, and power boost thing. Wait, where the... Cool. So many cables, switches, and everything just drives you crazy. Oh, that's your setup right now. Interesting. Holy zoo. I should have... I came here too soon! I was a fool! And why does Lena have gray hair? Is old a status now? Flash him. Yeah, it's... Between all the cables for something that doesn't actually give the best sound quality without a whole lot of... testing and tweaking and just effort and knowledge. Because I just have like a Siren, Razer Siren X mic. It's a USB mic. I got a boom arm for it because I thought it was cool, and it came with a pop filter, which is what I actually wanted. And it works okay. It works surprisingly well. I think it could be better, but I have no idea. Yeah, it can sound amazing studio quality. You just don't know what the features are. It's just so much trial and error, or kidnapping an expert and holding him hostage until they teach you the secrets of their black magic. I just used the best headset I could find. It's made my life so much easier, because yeah, it didn't feel like I could ever make it sound amazing. Yeah, that's a mood. Suki, you need to find out the right settings to filter out the fan sounds of your computer. What should that be? I don't know, man. Can't figure it out either. See, here's my solution to that. My PC's water-cooled. I don't have fan noises most of the time. Love my Blue Yeti. Hell yeah. If it works, it works, and that's all that matters. Slap NVIDIA... Yeah, just slap whatever you can onto there. Do what you need to get something that sounds good. Because I think unless you have like someone who's experienced with audio mixing and professional recording, which God, that's the next, not violent at all, by the way. Oh yeah, thank you so much for coming by. I hope you have a good night and get some good rest. We will just be struggle bussing. Because now we have the most unworkable class in the game. Mecha ASMR stream one day. Soothing sounds of metal on metal. Hell yeah. Training. I want a weapon. I want a better weapon. I think that's going to do. Been asked for ASMR streams. I mean, you do have a good voice. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just the type of people who... Okay, so I guess I don't need these anymore because I can't equip them. Buy... Battle Axe... And everything else is good. Oh, right, because... So many YouTube vids on mix that are contradicting or... Yeah, too many chefs in the kitchen, for sure. That after a while of information, it might be something that, by personal preference, that's what they think sounds nice. But in actuality... Some more streams. Relaxing to have. Kind of creepy to ask for. Yeah. Yeah, ASMR is not for everyone to a point that it's a weird thing to ask. Hey, can you whisper in my ears, please? Thanks. I suppose it's how it's brought up. If it's, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it over and over again, that's one thing. If it's someone saying, hey, I know how this sounds, but personally, I think you have a good voice for this if that was something that you were considering is a different matter. But the way it wasn't creepy, thankfully. It's, oh, yeah, like that. Variations of, oh, do you do ASMR streams? Your voice would be really nice for it. Like, the type of gall for somebody to just walk up and say, I want your voice in my head. That's one thing, but just a polite inquiry, then it's kind of like the variation of like some variation of compliment at that point, I feel. I feel like speaking of that, I feel like I need to grind a bit. That's a compliment. I personally wouldn't, yeah, personally wouldn't find that weird. Okay, but now the question is, do I grind on this continent, or do I drop into the teleporter? Oh wait, I just realized the meteorite we came out of, and this wasn't the meteor we found earlier, which means this has been hit with 3 different... This planet's been hit by 3 meteors. Ooh, trying to edit down the randomizer VOD. How? I'd say, how's that going? Yeah, I'm not expecting compliment to get one. I never know how... Oh, same. Like, I'm the type of person who memorizes every compliment they're given because, like, yes, but why? Or it's a mix of, yes, but why did you have to say that? I don't know how to deal with this, and I will never forget this until the day I die. Zoo and Agil. Chopped off 50 minutes? You did. That is progress. Hell yeah. Okay, I suppose the nice thing about Berserkers is they can just kind of go. Hey, dude, good. GG. Good about this game. Yep. Yeah, sure am. What's the next one? Wild Knack. Okay. So we got a minute. If this is anyone else's content, I'd be fine, but because it's mine, my voice. Yeah. Yeah, there's a thing about voices and hearing your own. You'll... Wait, this is a bird. I should be able to just arrow it. Or something like that. It's one of those things that gets better the more you do, but until then... Okay, problem solved? I just realized it's good that we have Frog Song, because we're going to have to put Ferris to sleep multiple times to keep them from killing enemies we need. I really do think... Ooh. Or... Oh yeah, Mecha, then when you can't really... When you're struggling to take a compliment well and you just feel like a jerk, that's no fun at all. Really do think there's an audio issue with the mic, but can't even describe it. Could be. Oh shit, yeah. Having to listen to phone calls in team meetings. Yeah. Well, for what it's worth, and hang on, quick thing, if you see this, no you don't. For what it's worth, in that cases, what you're hearing is what everyone else normally hears, so they're completely fine with it. Like, they're not hearing anything different. But for you, having to listen to your own voice in front of people, yeah. That's a whole other thing. Like, I really need to get back into the habit of listening to my own VODs. That's partially because I haven't been able to really have the time, because I either come home and I'm like in no mood at all to I think I got it. These things have, these knack packs have the
Drop it!
all right, controller dropped. Nope, didn't learn it. Right, but because I never really had the energy or desire to critique myself, then I tend not. Wow, you're going off with the sound alerts. I love it. But it's a hard thing to want to listen to your own content back, despite the fact that I honestly think between improving my content and the way I talk, that has done more good than anything else. That being said, I fully agree with both of you. I hate the sound of my own voice myself. So, like, whenever I get... Every time... I don't know why I learned, but I certainly learned it. That's going to blow up in my face. But every time I've gotten a compliment about my voice, it's been simultaneous parts. Don't know what I've learned, but I've certainly learned it. Ace after every law lecture. God, that was me after every either computer science or non-computer science lecture in college. Oh, dang it, Galoof's down. I didn't even notice that. There was one... that's another story for later. But see, like that, like, part of what you're saying, Mecha, I can think, okay, they're hearing it different. They're hearing it how it's always sounded to them, not how it sounds to me. But another part of me is thinking, yes, but I sound like someone threw a bunch of gravel in a wood chipper and left it on overnight. There's a little bit of skepticism to it. But, like, I appreciate what they're saying. It's just... the hardest part is always getting used to how you sound yourself. I remember at a point that I got to thinking, I sound okay. I've gotten somewhat used to it. But that was after 24 hours of VODs and the like, of me just completely rewatching my stream and cringing at things I hated, cringing at the sound of my voice, but also taking notes. Holy, Berserker's almost down. The day I had to learn Latin terms, reverse engineer it for objective meaning, and then look up how it was used in 1974 case, then look through a textbook just to be able to understand a paragraph of law. Yeah, you win for the worst thing. Cause, like, sure, I had to learn stuff like, there's just fire everywhere. We have entered Centralia. Make weapons armor easily thanks to Crystal. So the town's weapons armor are amazingly inexpensive. Hell yeah. Oh, all the mithril stuff. What is that? Fire, ice, thunder, flail? Those are good to have. But first things first. Hey, you, don't move. What? It's them. Must be here with monsters. I saw you came out of the meteor. I just wanted some weapons. What? That just... Wow. So by the time I'm done an entire unit in one day. I'm like, yeah, there's some digestible information there, I'm sure, but I didn't digest it. Ah, lawyer arguing, of course, should be easy since she's already a lie in every stream. You should feel bad for that pun. Oh, we're in jail again. God, there's so many things, like, especially when I stepped out of my major, all these dense readings for, like, other subjects, core requirements and the like. I just read them and thought, yep, that was certainly a thing I read. I understood none of it. I had to take, like, comprehensive... Don't start defamation prep. Oh, good luck, Mecca. Also, I'm adding... I don't know what I learned, but I certainly learned it as a quote. Oh, only entry 48. Those are words. You underestimate Mecca. He doesn't know what these things he's being charged with are. It's last of my special gunpowder. To find out the other side of the wall was just another cell? Oh, I'm sorry, Sid. Hey, you just laughed, didn't you? Oh, never mind. I'm Sid. Sid? The one who built the machines to amplify the crystal's power? Can't charge me, Ace. I don't have a credit card. And you also don't have a charge port either. I'm sorry. No, it's alright. All of this is my fault. According to the book I found in the ancient library long ago, crystals had power much greater than they do now. Studied the crystals in Tycoon, Warris, Karnak, and built machines to amplify their power. But this was a terrible mistake. Crystal power is amplified. Crystal is shattered. It's all my fault. But why are you in jail? It's too late for me to save the crystals of Tycoon and Warris. So I knew I had to prevent at least Karnak's crystal from shattering. But they caught me when I tried to stop the machine. That's for your lawyer, charity, company, or party to pay. I think she's out matching both of us here. That she can definitely lawyer us under the table. And then lawyer us for being under the table. Do have a credit card, though. I used to buy bread cake. Yes, and I'm very upset about that. Save your money on something that's worthwhile. Not me. I can buy my... Don't have to spend money on me. He's asked us to. Sid's surprise sprite with the little pixel dot eyes and his glasses flying off is top tier, and I will have no argument. Crystal pieces, who in the world are you guys? Dr. Sid, Dr. Sid. Being too dumb for law. Ah. Here's the thing. I thought I was too dumb for computer science. Turns out, all you need to do is confidently insist that you know what you're doing. Scramble for the research until you actually learn how to do it. And then you'll be just fine. Like, one thing I had to... Steamship, huh? Steamships probably suck in the crystal's power. Dr. Sid, please lend us your help. Sorry, story, side quests. Literally how I made every dollar to my name, by the way, Bread. Hell yeah. See, we have Mecca's approval of this. These people are going to help us. Huh? These people came out of the meter. They're with the werewolves. I mean, I would say that do we look like werewolves, but Barris in the Berserker getup kind of does. Well, I won't help either. Fine then. Will you help us? Go to the steamship first. It's dangerous there. Come once you're totally prepared. I'll be waiting. Because one thing that I had to tell myself through college again and again was that everything sucks and seems to be very hard because I don't know how to do this yet. I'm in the process of not being too dumb for my major. And it's kind of hard to be in that... fire everywhere. What the hell is with this up with this castle? I digress that. Oh yeah, it's really cool that you're going to law school, and I hope that that's going good for you. Like, learn about what other people know. Pretty interesting. It's always good to know what other people's expertise is. Oh, the fire isn't normal. Now, there's a weird adjustment period where you kind of have to get used to the fact that you're still in the process of learning. I know information well enough, but I'm no good at essays, so I get marked down often. I remember essays. That wasn't fun, especially because most of my classes expected me to write code, which was all well and fine. Like, there's syntax, and the compiler will tell you when you fuck that up. But actual essays, at least at a college level, it's... Oh, God. Yeah, at Oxford Law Standards of English. It's hard enough, and... It's hard enough to get it at a point where I'm in charge now. Just saying, I've never written an essay before studying law. It's a skill to learn for sure. It's a struggle to go even if you had to write a annoying amount of essays in high school and are used to that level. Werewolf. Oh, can't let him get in the castle. It's a thief guy that we sprang. Yeah, that's our buddy. Says explosives will chase him off for now. It's a matter of time till he comes back. Huh. Failed English my senior year of high school. One up on me. Fair enough. It's a difficultly pedantic subject. But no, it's a skill that you learn, and you'll get better at it the more you go along. The more you write, and the more that... Especially if you have... So my college had, like, called it the Rhetoric Center, where you were able to... Oh. Damn, these are expensive. Wait, they marked them up! The jerks! Little mithril plumid. It for sure is difficult studying law, though, while trying to recover from a hard-op juggling singing lessons, streaming, and commissions. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, you are kinda crazy for doing that. Ooh, mithril gauntlet. I want to be a bit smart. Like, that is a ton of work to do. Especially recovering from the surgery, like, I hope that's going well. I can't complain much either, because senior year of college for me, I had the wonderful idea of thinking, you know what I should do right now? Wait, I have a mithril already. I should... I had an internship from over the summer that is still going on, and I have a regular part-time job for the rest of the year. I don't know what this is, but I should get that for everyone. I think I'll keep doing them both. I ended up being stuck in a loop of 12-hour days for so long. almost half a year before my family finally convinced me that I didn't have to keep that up, and it was okay and probably smart for me to quit one of them. I wonder what this does. Nothing. But yeah, I hope the recovery is going good and that things get easier and you find like a good healthy balance for you, because it's tough. It does non-elemental piercing damage to one target equal to the caster's maximum HP minus their current HP. That's a weird skill. This fool didn't go to college. Well, you still turned out pretty okay. At least I think so. Tent. We were right by the town. We probably could have. Nah. I'm going to do a bit of grinding for cash and XP because I could use it. Although it makes sense, I feel, to do it on the... I'm going to do it just in the overworld, so that way I'm closer to the town when things go south. Times want to quit streaming, but at least 5 friends and DMs go, Ace, no. Yeah. What happens if I do try it now? That's the thing. I hate to say it. Oh. That's a weird spell to get around. Like, their current HP minus yours. So I guess it's good if you're, like, low. Because it's one of those cases of everything you've listed is both amazing, fun, and probably on some level, like, helpful and enjoyable. But I can also see it being very time-consuming. And I agree with Mecha that your streams are great, but your mental health definitely comes first. And physical. So if you actually have to, then that would be the right decision. I don't know, it's one of the things that I really enjoy streaming, mind you, but I want the best content I can get out there, and it's difficult to find time to research into that. I understand that so much. There's so much that you can do, and so much that requires... Oh wow, the wolf packs are good for Gil. Like, the wolves are full of cash. And there's so much more work to get into figuring out how to stream well, and even set up games, things like researching the algorithm, outreach. Hell, the time alone it takes to just maintain and appease the algorithm to get word of your streams and all that out there is honestly insane and hard to balance. You could, oh yeah, a stream manager, to being able to pay someone to manage all that. I can see why big agency VTubers do so much better, or what the appeal of getting into an agency is, of just being able to have a support team and other people driving up hype, as well as the helping you with outreach. And nope, I want the weird stick thing for Ferris. Oh, I ended up with a lot of money, like a surprising amount. For shields. Here was Barry Sanders running. Oh, Barry Sanders. I thought you said Bernie Sanders. I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. Running back for the Detroit Lions. Was he? Because I would kind of believe that for Bernie. But Barry Sanders, running back for the Detroit Lions, most amazing players of all time. The thing I admire most from him is he retired from professional football in his prime because he didn't enjoy playing anymore. Yeah, do it. That is a good lesson. If you don't enjoy it, and I've thought this mostly about like D&D campaigns, that I've been in a couple that are just poorly managed and run and are by someone who, with people who are just miserable. But after a certain point, even very fun things, not going to have someone for that until later, are more trouble than they're worth. Like, yeah, it's hard to be efficient with it. Oh, I should try it. See if I have anything else. I am scatterbrained. But even if it's just going down from a constant schedule of like 2 or 3 times a week, because I only stream 2 times a week because that's about all I can manage and still get everything else I need done. But like senior year of college was about, I suppose summer of my junior year was when I started streaming, which, shit, I might be close to like affiliate anniversary or stream anniversary. Huh, that's happening. But I'm only streamed 1 time a week. Even have them say, you do better streaming at X time, this game that you enjoy on this day of the week would do you wonders. Oh god, that is so true. I always stream 7:30 or 7 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday and Thursday. Not because I know that those do well, because I just don't have any other time. I could push that to really any 2 days of the week, but I feel Tuesday, Thursday is at least the most consistent you can get, where it's like a college course, kind of, where those are the days that you'd schedule, either 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or 2 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday. But like, I also work a 9 to 5, so I don't have time in the day unless I take vacation or do it on the weekend, which is a whole other thing, to stream at any other time. Which is such a pain. Actually, I need to do more. But yeah, definitely lean on friends, like Mecha's saying, to help you out. One of my favorite parts of the VTuber community in general, at least the parts that I've been able to keep up on and have been trying to seek out and stay in, is the sides where you do make legit connections, make some friends, and are able to like actually have people that you can lean on and help you out. Granted, the other part of that is the anxiety of like of knowing so many cool people and kind of thinking, okay, yes, but why are they giving me any time? They are amazing. I'll just try it to see what happens if I hit them all. Not much. Well, they're very wind resistant. Very wind resistant. I think any of my friends know how to research analytical things, unfortunately. True. That is a downside. The most relevant thing of college coursework being a literal pain. Hard to delegate. Hard to delegate the research. At least in the analytical sense. Alright. Let's see if we can hop off our gear now and get into the next dungeon. Because I think the only other things I would like is more consumables. Let's roll. Oh, hey, Captain. Thank you for lurking. Really appreciate that, and hope that you're having a good morning. So, 3 of those. I have a feeling the more expensive exclusive armor is going to be better than just generic silver. Ooh, Command and Conquer. I've heard the music from that game, and that alone is top tier. Okay. It's a good game. And the last thing I'm doing before I go into the next dungeon, as much as I'd like to, well, first to stop in the inn. As much as I would like to get some more elemental rods for this, I should probably buy more potions. That's my only source of healing in the game. But no, streaming as just an extra hobby, it's an annoying balance of, if you do it full time, a cheesy comment I made before, Loaf. Oh, which one? Ah, I missed that because I was looking away. That's how I met Bread, Sugi, KB, Ham, so many some people. This one streamer started watching live. A streamer, she randomized Elden Ring. It's very fun. Too bad. Too bad. All right. Oh. Oh, hey, you did get a cross emote. Good for that. Man. Fair enough. Fair enough. Gotta keep the distance. Not like this Loaf ape. His smug aura mocks me. And I'll do it again. I think that was my Discord status for the longest time. Belligerent Loaf. Or is that as either a Discord status or like a quote on the quote bot. I know I have been referred to as such before. It's Shoto's emote, by the way. Ooh. Yeah, I need to... They are very... Like, I've seen good things about him, and... Yeah, just from looking at the emote pop-up. They are very, very strong emote game. Belligerent Loaf is the name of my metal band. I don't know if it's because they're adding more frames to it or whatever, but like the very bouncy animated emotes like that are just amazing. Now I need to talk to my emote artist. I know she's on hiatus right now. That would be amazing. That would... I am tempted to like use that as an example of eyes popping out emote too. Been waiting for you. So I thought ship is sucking away at the power of crystal of fire. The engine is? Yes, if the engine isn't stopped immediately, the crystal will shatter. Will you go? Oh yeah. Enter from here, but be careful. Monsters have gotten inside. Please stop the engine. Can't wait until my new model is done and we can collab and you can have my model on stream for my constant done expression. Happened to the bread-eating explosive Alright. There should be 2 of them, actually. Because I did add all of my static emotes as a follower emote. There we go. So yeah, that's the other thing that I think I forgot to mention. I finally got follower emotes as just a thing. So now pretty much everything but the animated one are all just available, which love that for me. Hell yeah. Don't worry about it too much. I am probably not going to. I'm highly explosive, so worry about it, actually. Okay, next is self-destruct. Fun. That's the next blue magic spell we can learn. Mithril glove. I think only Ferris can equip. Oh, yeah, that's it. An awful pairing. Explosive and my entire ability to control fire. Can't wait till we collab again. Have to deal with my emotion. Oh, you were fine. You were fine. The bigger thing is I suck at scheduling. I constantly forget. Or the... No. You were fine. I'm the bigger thing. True, you are the bigger... Well, shoot, I've only ever seen technically one VTuber who is shorter than me. That's 8-Bit Nugget at, like, 2.8 inches. I don't know, the part of it is I just kind of get a little bit too focused on... I want to play this specific game. So I end up with a schedule packed of just regular games, and I can try to hit him with arrow. And forget, like, oh, I should reach out to friends to collab. So on Bread and Mecha versus a Wasteland Heart. Found a whole ass cabin in a chest. Hell yeah. I need to... Collabing with an NA friend on 14 this Friday. Oh, hell yeah. That's going to be amazing. Wait, where's Arrow? There's Arrow. Yeah, I'll try to be there too if it... Shoot, I should actually be able to hopefully make it. Because that sounds like fun. For a collab like that. And at least half of it is, I know from experience, that those collabs are fun. I should probably heal... Oh. HP's going... okay. Except for Ferris. There we go. Because one of the things I was worried about was that 14 just as a game would be a bit hard to do a satisfactory collab with. But I don't know, there's something about 2 people playing that game and doing just about anything. Imagine not collabing on 14. Oh, you're fine. It's also not for everyone. But I've been... Thing is, I love doing collabs, and it's fun to play games with friends. It's a mix of, I don't want to bother anyone, or I don't know what to play, or also the aforementioned, I have my schedules set, and I forgot that this is a thing people can do. Oops. Destiny 2 Dares collab. Shoot, I still need to run through Dares of Eternity at like a high level to get the Forerunner Catalyst. I have had that forever and wanted it, but just never was able to get it. To remember, for the same reasons, I was never able to get a group together. So, oh yeah, mentoring with Ultimates. That, I know that's a huge like scene for 14 streaming, doing the high-end content, which makes sense. It's harder stuff to get into, so for people who otherwise wouldn't be able to access it, it's a nice thing to do. And Solo Palace of the Dead, anything involving a solo run for Final Fantasy is a hell of a vibe. Yeah. Excuse me. Because I'm on a fresh character, no idea what we'll be doing. MSQ. I was streaming Bread, Haste, and Chess teaching me how to play your first ever 14. Well, can't speak for everyone else involved, but if you're interested in the MMO, there's a free trial. I have a belt. And a vent. We're in the walls. Level 60 with no restriction on playtime, if I believe. Including the award-winning expansions Realm Reborn and Heavensward. Okay, I think the way I get to that chest involves hot nonsense on elevators. Dang, this is... Oh, here's the hot nonsense. And mentions of Stormblood. Oh, amazing. Oh, like actually amazing. Get like 1K hours and that'll... Oh, damn. I am going to have a long time in front of me with this game. Knowing me, I'm probably going to refuse to... Huh, on the belt. Would you look at that? Probably going to refuse to actually, like, finish and pay a sub until after I get at least a few jobs up to level 60. We're just throwing you into... Yeah. I mean, we're only on the theoretical side of things, so... Usually play a mentor role in group. I'm used to it. Okay, so that one didn't work. I think I'm gonna try the middle ones first to get that chest. Here? Hell yeah! Thief Club. Maybe? Flip side where I teach you three to play Fallout 76. Oh, right, with Caro. No, I haven't pulled it up yet. I should, though. Maybe I have improved steel. Oh, I need thief for that. I can't actually use that. Going after Caro Ice. Hellscythe and... Oh, Hellscythe and Mita were a part of that? Yeah, that is definitely a children, please sort of deal. I've only played Phasmophobia once. Like, a couple games of it, but it was with a group who knew what they were doing. And also during, like, a 24-hour or something stupidly long like that. Donut Streamathon, like a Halloween event. I had to instruct each of them what to do, which is fine. But I had to babysit and keep them live, and none would listen. Fallout 76 is free. Huh, that's actually, from what I've heard of how they implemented the game, there's a lot of things early on that just didn't hit. So that's probably a good call on their part. But yeah, I can get needing someone to tell you what to do, because that game, I assume there's a tutorial somewhere that'll tell you, like, hey, this is how you get this evidence, this is how you get this is what these tools done. Yeah, they didn't hit. It was an interesting idea for them not to have any NPCs in the game and just go through everyone's favorite Bethesda cliche of drop notes and terminal entries. But glad that they were putting some work into it. It was at least an interesting idea. Yep, just humming myself while getting the job done, thinking dumb ways to die with all their corpses in the room. Ooh, speed potion. Cool. I mean, hey, you did a better job than I had my first round. Everyone was too tired to teach, and they themselves were all very experienced. So I was just kind of sitting there. Kara was singing with. Oh, that is beautiful. But like, I was given no teaching at all and was just kind of walking around thinking, am I getting this right? Am I getting this right? Is this correct? I don't know. All well, everyone else was just screaming, reacting, and I didn't even know enough about the game to get why they were reacting. But it seems like a hell of a time. Especially if you can get everyone else. Well, part of me liked it. Made the ways feel lonely and more end of the world feeling than any other Fallout game I played. Seeing another person was a huge moment. I can see that, and it does, in all fairness, have the justification of... Weird. Of it being set directly after the end. I think the problem most people had with it was that... I want to go through that. For most of what the franchise was, Full Moon. Oh. I don't think... No, Blue Mages can't. Berserkers can't. That's useless, but that could be. Like, what most people's issues with that was that Fallout, in terms of its identity as a series, was always very, very big into storytelling and characters. So to not have that, it was missing what for a lot of people would be an expected and loved part of the franchise. But definitely for the atmospheric side of that, and if you're enjoying that, that is a good thing that can be used well. Another funny moment too, Kara got flustered when she finally got RR for me. She immediately froze up when a ghost event was due, and I immediately went back to casually humming Dumb Way. Oh my god, that was calculated, Ace. So mean. But so funny. What's it? I bet the tent has a maximum HP. Oh, God, that is using your powers for evil. This is... Drink. Cause the effect of haste. Okay. We could collab. I mean, yeah, that was hilarious. So that goes there. If I... No. Push that there, I can probably get the treasure on the other end. Ah. And these poltergeists are all just kind of getting annoying, but I think at this point, it might not be worth... Oh. They're confused. How wonderful. They're also very slow. Oh. Next week when I join call, she went radio silent. Yeah, I hope that that's, Oh, that's the whole thing. I hope that's not... That was just for a moment and not, anything too personal. Being through an empty world with only sounds being your footsteps and End of the World by Skeeter Davis is a visceral experience. She was just... Oh! That radio silent. Well, you know what? Karo's winning in this situation. Man. Maybe I do something irresponsible and stay up way too... Instead of trying to get back on... Caught up on sleep, I stay up way too late and watch this because it sounded really funny. Oh, hell yeah. Elixir. You know, even if she got killed by the ghost, still winning. Now, not worth that much. Oh, now you're making me want to even more. Huh. Okay, weird. Oh, it must be on the way out of the steamship? Because I haven't seen the enemies that have self-destruct. I'm also don't know how useful it is. She didn't get killed. Made sure to stay in the house and protect her during that. Kind of, yeah. Queen Karnak? What? This Aces RR might have long-term side effect. Ask your doctor if Aces RR is right for you. People are standing in the way of my revival. Must get rid of you. That ain't good. I have a full core meltdown. Or just a bunch of fire. Ugh. Yep. We're going to make the blue mages go back a row because they're just going to be casting spells. Damn. Well, the power of a Hellcat's era is truly something to be reckoned with, it seems. Nope. Okay, so about 31. How does Goblin Punch? Hell of a superpower, indeed. It's a 93. Holy shit. Why do I have a feeling that the next thing that emote that you're going to get is going to be a cross? Does arrow change? At this point, I'm calling it a... Nope. Arrow will always heal, so that's not good. Fire also heals. How much damage do I have to do to this? 3,000. If I break the rod, back in bed? Oh yeah, by all means. Woo! That'll work. Breaking an ice rod will aggressively work. I mean, I'm dead right now. Ferris can't actually do anything. But good to know. But yeah, by all means, and thanks for coming by. I hope whatever you need to take care of them lurking goes well. Alright, but let me first check motor trap. I ran about. Only if it Feeder. Oh, I see. I see. I just want to check one more thing. With a liquid flame. Yeah, so this thing's level 19. This is either a massive jump, a massive level jump that I'm expected to take, or it's just fucking with me. Either way, I believe that the proper response is... Like, I'm at the point where I can buy ice rods now. Oh. Perfect. I think the defeater's what I need. Yeah, and then it summons these motor traps. I should have bought more rods. Because they either have to be in critical health or... Ooh. I should 240. Okay. I'm going to Frog Ferris. Ah, dang it, I can't Frog Ferris. Just keep missing, please. 63. Every dog demands 3 a.m. attention. By all means, give that dog the attention it deserves at this time. Right. Okay, so that was the... Those motor traps are the enemies that have self-destruct as an ability. Yeah. No, I'm going to stand and fight. I can use levels. If I take some more, that's all well and good. Because I'm thinking we're getting to the first difficulty turn. In which case, leveling up a bit wouldn't be a bad thing. Worst case, I drop out of this dungeon quick. Oh yeah, especially for job points. Those are well used. Oh, wait, no, I should be on these things when they move. Alright, my head is too empty. Too full of fluff. Is Arrow good against these things? I feel like I should know that. Yes. Arrow is good against most things except for the things I need it to be good against. Then it's not. Turn of the Mecha. Praise be. Praise the Mecha. Oh, welcome back. To the tune of Return of the Mac. I actually don't know that one. Oh, Power Room. That is on the list of things to change. Return of the Mac and... Right, we're listening to music tonight after stream. Oh. I'm fine with that. Alright, first things first, like, just a wide dispersal range of arrow. See whatever doesn't hit. Oh, wait. I think quad question mark will be a good one for the boss here, and I kind of want to check. check that.